Hi, everyone. I'm Rosemary Miller here with Alan Adamson, the founder and CEO of Metaforce, here to tell us how much it could cost you to use X, formerly known as Twitter, and if it makes sense to pay for a social media platform. Thank you so much for joining me today, Alan.
Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. So, X recently launched its Premium Plus subscription. Could you give us an overview of that, including its pricing and the benefits?
So you can go all the way to the top tier at X and pay $69 a month or $168, $170 a year. And for that, you get fewer ads. You get their algorithms to boost your posts the most they can, and some content creation tools to let you upload longer videos, encrypt your encrypt messages, and some other extras. But the big one is the boosting of the posts to give people who want to stand on a mountaintop and shout, "Here's what I think, and here's why it matters," a little more rocket fuel. No Elon Musk pun intended, to boost their posts.
So
And there's
speaking
something
of,
in between, which is and there's a mid-level in between that you can do for 84, which has little less but more than the basic subscription, which is $3 a month or $32 a year.
and we know that ad revenue has plummeted on Twitter. I mean, Elon Musk bought it for 44 billion and it's only worth what, 19 billion today. So I'm
19
wondering,
and heading down
it's
and going
us
in the
heading
wrong
down.
direction.
Why is that?
Well, because he bought it based on the current business model of most social media, or all social media to date, which is ad revenue. And the valuation was based on how many people were advertising and how many eyeballs were on it, were using it, were engaged. And since then, not only has the number of ad sponsors dropped, advertisers are not signing up, but the number of eyeballs have dropped. So he's got fewer ads and fewer people watching it, which makes the ads worth less. And it's really hard to turn around that spiral once that spiral begins, because what sells advertisers is, are people engaged? Are they using it? Are they the right eyeballs? People who buy my product. So depending on whatever your product is, if it's toothpaste or cars, and they're struggling on both of those fronts, which is leading up to your first question. Why would you try to make people pay for something they've gotten free for a long time, as well as they can get free on other platforms? They can freely get on the mountaintop in Instagram or now Threads, and so it's a challenge.
So Elon Musk, it seems like he's basically trying to make up for the lost ad revenue with the subscriptions. Could you share some insights into this strategy?
Which is revenue is going down because major advertisers have decided to both pull back or drop for the variety of reasons everyone knows about: the lack of engagement, the fewer eyeballs, as well as potentially volatile content. Marketers don't. A lot of brand marketing is about the company you keep, and if you're a marketer like Procter and Gamble or a car company, you don't want to be next to controversial content, because people will be in an agitated state, and then they say, "Forget about this aggravation and agitation. Now let me talk to you about our new, toothpaste." So the environment matters to a lot of advertisers. So that's going on. Now, subscription has always been the hope for lots of content companies, because ad revenue challenge for many content companies, from print, newspapers, magazines, streaming television, making money, making the transition from, we're an ad-supported business, which means it's free to you. All you have to do is put up with 10-second interruptions, 20-second interruptions, pop-up screens, or you don't have to have that and you pay for the privilege of using it. That transition is never perfect. So the ad revenue is going down. They're trying to get subscriptions up. lots of newspapers have struggled with this, from the Wall Street Journal to the New York Times. Can they get subscriptions up high enough to, to catch the falling ad revenue as people move to that model? It's the theory is reasonable, but getting human behavior to change, to start saying, I'm going to start paying for something I used to get for free, is as I said, a challenge.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking about even Netflix. I would rather pay for Netflix than pay for cable and have to deal with commercials. So I'm curious, like, is that the same sort of situation we're seeing here?
In theory, yes, great connection. But Netflix has phenomenal content. There's so much stuff to watch. You're willing to pay whatever dollars a month it is to subscribe. But what will be more interesting is what happens to the other streaming services, from Paramount Plus to Peacock to Hulu. Because at a certain point, viewers, whether they're viewing X or they're viewing Instagram or they're viewing programming on their smart TVs or smartphones, will have to make a decision. Is it really worth $168 a year for me to post? Is it really worth $168 a year to watch? Do I really need Disney Plus? I only see a couple movies. My kids are grown up. Do I really need Hulu, or should I accept the cheaper Hulu, which has ads on it? And so, even in the best case scenario, and I would think streaming television is the best case scenario because they have phenomenal content. You want to, when your friends are watching a streaming series, you really want to see it. You want to see it. There's not a lot of great, and they have phenomenal content on streaming television. They are struggling to get people to subscribe, and I think that will be exponentially more difficult for Twitter/X, because their content is not as valuable to consumers. Now, for heavy-duty Xers or Twitterers, former Twitterers, they're into the platform. They're somewhat addicted to, when they post something, getting a lot of high fives or, negative feedback, and they're into that world. So it is relevant he'll get some subscriptions. How many is the question, and at what level, and ultimately for how long? Because as the Threads platform builds, and if people say, gee, do I really need the extra boost from the Plus site? Do I really need the upload longer videos? And so when you're, the first payment is easy, the first month, it's not a big number, or if you go for 100, but as time goes on, he will need to make it more valuable to more people to make it successful as a subscription business. The few businesses that have been successful on subscription, like Netflix, like Spotify, have such loyal users that really are into the content. They've already made the decision that this is worth it. I get enough out of this. There's no better. I don't want to listen to music any other way than Spotify. If I have to have one streaming network, I'd rather get Netflix than pay a cable company for a bunch of stuff I don't want to watch, because I know on Netflix, I'm going to have Wednesdays, the series, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, so subscription only works if there's a huge carrot to say, I must have it. And, it's really, if Netflix had been totally free forever, getting people to say now all of a sudden you've been getting free Netflix for forever, but now I want to charge you $16 a month or $179 a year, $170 a year. It's hard. So it's not only the fact that there's money involved, it's the fact that they've gone from zero to a big number. And when they were paying zero, it was a bigger crowd. The stadium was full of users, advertisers. It was a buzz. Every news story that broke, as seen on Twitter. If you wanted to be in the know and really know what's going on, there was a burning need to say, at least I want to know fast what's going on in the world and what people are thinking. I'm going to subscribe to the former Twitter. Now, audiences are down. It's a hostile environment for many people. Advertisers are out. It's sort of like he's trying to sell Teslas without engines.
Sell Teslas without engines. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Alan.
I've enjoyed our conversation as always.
Me too.